Taban-taban kita nya depan MOU Helsinki
Uranya iyalah
17 dot dan MOU Helsinki sama sekali mana menguntung kitanya bangsa Aceh.
Iya undang ya itu apa?
Oleh sebabnya uranya kitanya stabilitas bakdonya internasional khususnya orang-orang yang terlibat
Kali kenapa besok ni?
menandatangani MOU Helsinki. Bahwa MOU Helsinki kata mas, MOU Helsinki kabubar. Uranya kitanya nata pegat level statement. Statement pun nak dalam bentuk bahasa Inggris. Bahasa Inggrisnya tak tuju untuk dunia internasional dan orang-orang yang terlibat dalam perjanjian MOU Helsinki tahun 2005. Yang kedua, kitanya tak berganti statement dalam bentuk bahasa Melayu. Bahasa Melayunya nak untuk tak peterang turun di Nanggara dan bahasa Melayunya nak terjemahan daripada bahasa Inggris. Yang kedua, kitanya najib tak pegat sabah seruan dalam bentuk bahasa Aceh. Dan seruannya kitanya tujukan ke mandum bangsa Aceh yang na dia turungdonya, yang kontan nak ke bangsa Aceh yang na di Nanggara. Untuk penghemat wate, kita mulai pun statement dalam bahasa Inggris yang dibaca oleh Tunku Jainuddin Daud. Kepada Tunku Jainuddin Daud, kami persilakan dengan hormat.
Teh. Ketah ya ho. Coba Aceh ho. Okey. Dah ketah. Nampak. Kita dalam mata Aceh ho ketah ya. Oh, empat. Kalian bah, tanah belum jekia ho. Kalian ni tanah.
And the world breathed a deep sigh of relief that one of the longest armed conflicts in Southeast Asia has eventually ended. A Finnish NGO by the name Crisis Management Initiative, under the chairmanship of President Matti Ahtisaari, has successfully mediated between the Free Aceh Movement, GAM, and the Republic of Indonesia. That took place here on August 15, 2005. Thanks to CMI, the European Union, ASEAN, and all others, including the United Nations, for having contributed to the success. 17 years on, despite the promises to implement the deal, successive Indonesian governments have deliberately dismissed a number of important clauses, such as Peace and Reconciliation Commission, Human Rights Court, and dozen other articles stipulated in the deal. As a result, this has been a lost period for the people of Aceh, especially for tens of thousands affected by the conflict. Whereas the international community regards this case as a closed chapter with a happy ending, yet it is an antithesis to what Acehnese have experienced all these years. Aceh's abundant natural resources are still being unlimitedly exploited by Jakarta, despite the current agreement promises Aceh to retain 70% of its share. With regard to protecting human rights and addressing past abuses by the military, not a single perpetrator has been brought to justice. Not a single culprit has been accounted for. Today, August 15, 2022, Achenese diaspora in Scandinavia have gathered here in front of this building to declare to the whole world, particularly those involved in the peace process, that the so-called Memorandum of Understanding signed here by the two parties has failed. It is dead. It is buried. This agreement today by no means to be claimed that the disgraceful behavior of some stakeholders, particularly the Indonesian government and its military, is the greatest cause of the reason for concern. And through this very day, Jakarta still regards Aceh as a potential threat to its territorial integrity. In the early years after the peace deal was signed, the military had been continuously trying to repress the Aceh. First, to resume its illegal business activities, because Aceh is one of the most lucrative areas for such illegal income. Secondly, to try to regain full confidence in but that is not the case for Indonesia. In many cases, the Indonesian military frequently resorts to use methods that lead to a threat to the nation. As the former has never been decolonized. Just 2 weeks ago, 15 so-called suspect terrorists were arrested by the anti-terror center 88 in several districts in Aceh. No independent investigation has ever been conducted to verify the incident. As to date, nobody knows their whereabouts. They just disappeared without a trace. This kind of arbitrary arrests have become a commonplace in post-Helsinki Accord. Though on the surface everything seems calm and conducive in Aceh, but the true situation now is simmering. It is just a calm before the storm. This year, more than half of Indonesian provinces, including Aceh, will be led by interim governors until the elections in 2024 are held. Last month, Jakarta appointed General Ahmad Marzuki as interim Aceh governor for a period of 2.5 years, and he was former Aceh military commander in 2020. His appointment has fueled a mountain of concerns about the lack of transparency and military involvement in the process. Because one day before the inauguration, he was still in active military. In return, he is to appoint around 15 head districts in the entire Aceh. Some of them already appointed to have come from the State Intelligence Bureau or BIN, such as in PD region. By now, the military has been brought back into civilian governance, reinstituting the Suharto era of Babinsa, junior officers assigned to villages, and promoting military involvement in non-security related functions. And its current